Welcome to Famora. Don't forget to subscribe for more shocking family drama and jaw-dropping stories. They told me I wasn't their real child, right after serving the roast chicken. The roast chicken smelled like home, but the room felt colder than the snow outside. I lifted my fork and Mom dropped hers. The metal hit the plate with a sharp sound. "We should say it," she muttered. Dad took a slow sip from his glass and didn't look at me. My sister Mira smiled like she knew a joke I didn't. My brother, Saif, bounced his leg under the table. "What is it?" I asked. Mom stared at the tablecloth. "You're not our real child." The words cut the air in two. My hand froze. The fork slipped and landed in the gravy. Mira leaned in and whispered to Saif, loud enough for me to hear. "Told you," Dad added. "We raised you out of pity. Your grandparents insisted. We did our duty." I felt my chest go hollow. "Why now?" "Why like this?" Saif shrugged. "Better to know where you stand." "Where I stand," I said. "At my own family table?" Mira snorted. "You always acted different, see? Now it makes sense." I pushed back my chair. It scraped the floor and made everyone flinch. "Thank you," I said, and my voice shook. "Merry Christmas." No one followed when I walked out. Outside, the snow bit my cheeks, and the lights on the street blinked like tired eyes. At home, I pulled out the old wooden box my grandfather had left me. Inside lay the deed to the house he'd given me, a $2.5 million property he said I earned by being honest, steady, and mine. His letter sat on top in his shaky hand. "This house is yours. Protect it." I pressed the paper to my chest. "Not real," I whispered into the dark. "But I am still me. I didn't sleep." I watched the night turn to gray, then to white, and promised myself I would not be erased. For 2 days, food tasted like cardboard. I couldn't shake their voices. "Not our real child. We raised you out of pity." I kept opening the box and reading my grandfather's letter. Each time the words steadied me, like a hand on my shoulder. My friend Yasmin showed up without asking. She took one look at me and said, "You look like you got hit by a truck." She put a mug of tea in my hands and waited. I told her everything. Every word, every laugh, every quiet cut. When I finished, she set her jaw. "Family is who protects you, not who wounds you," she said. "They failed you." I rubbed my eyes. "Maybe they were scared. Maybe they thought truth would make me leave." She shook her head. "They wanted you small." This wasn't truth. It was control. My phone buzzed with a call from Dad. I didn't want to answer, but I did. His voice was flat. "Don't take this personally." "We said what needed to be said. Needed by who?" I asked. "By the family," he said. "So we all know our place." When I hung up, I felt the last bit of warmth leave my fingers. An hour later, I saw Mira's new post online. "Bloodline pride," she wrote, tagging Saif. There was a photo of them toasting at dinner. The caption ended with a laughing emoji. I felt sick. "I can't eat this," I said, pushing the tea away. Yasmin put a hand over mine. "Then don't eat. Decide." "Decide what?" I asked, even though I knew. "The house," she said. "The one your grandfather gave you. The one with your name on the deed." I stared at the box. I heard my grandfather's voice in memory. "Protect it. Isn't that cruel?" I asked. "Was Christmas dinner kind?" She asked back. I breathed out a long, shaky breath. "No." "Then stand," she said. "Not to hurt them. To protect yourself." That night, I wrote down everything I remembered about the house. Every creaking step, every nail on the porch, the door we painted a faded blue when I was 12. I wrote until the words stopped shaking. I slept for 2 hours, and it was enough. Mr. Rahman's office smelled like old books and ink. He had been our family lawyer for years. He adjusted his glasses and read the deed twice before he spoke. "You are the sole owner," he said. "Your grandfather's will is clear. This property is yours in full." My heartbeat slowed. "They said I don't belong." "In law," he said, "belonging is on paper. In life, it is in action. Here, both are on your side." I asked the question I had been afraid to ask. "What about eviction?" he sighed. They are occupants with no rights to the property. You can file. It will be ugly. They made ugly first, I said. My voice was small but steady. They chose to tell me I was not theirs. I choose to stop being their target. Yasmin sat beside me, hands folded. We'll do this clean, she said. No shouting, no gossip. Just the law. We signed the papers. Mr. Rahman stamped them, and the seal pressed into the page with a heavy crunch. 2 weeks, he said. That is the notice period. Pack patience. Outside, snow fell in soft sheets. I drove past the house at dusk, and the windows glowed warm. I could see shadows moving, Mira's hair, Saif's fast hands, Dad's slow walk, Mom's small frame. They looked like strangers behind glass. I parked a block away and watched. Laughter rose. I felt anger sweep through me, hot and clean. But under it was a strange calm, like the stillness before a storm I knew I could survive. At home, I texted Yasmin. It begins. She replied, I'm with you. All the way, I put the deed back in the box. I slept with the box beside my bed like a shield. 2 weeks later, I rang the doorbell to my own house. Mira opened it and leaned against the frame with a smirk. Lost again? She said. I stepped past her. No, you did. I set the envelope on the dining table. Dad walked in, frowning. What is this? Mom grabbed the papers first. She read fast. Her face drained. Eviction? Her voice broke on the second syllable. Saif snatched the notice and threw it down. You wouldn't dare. I already did, I said. Grandpa gave me this house. The deed is in my name. You told me I don't belong. So I won't live like a guest in my own home. Yasmin stood at my shoulder like a quiet pillar. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. Mira's smirk cracked. You're serious? Yes. Mom reached for my hand. We raised you, she whispered. We fed you. We kept you warm. I pulled my hand back. The pain in my chest ached like a bruise. You raised me like a guest you tolerated. You fed me and kept me cold. You told me I wasn't yours, and you were proud of it. Dad's face hardened. You're being dramatic. Christmas dinner was dramatic, I said. This is boring paperwork, Saif pointed at me. You'll regret this. No, I said. I regret staying quiet. I turned to Mira. Pack your things. I'm giving you the legal time, not 1 hour more. The door locks will change the day after. Mira looked at Mom. Mom looked at Dad. Dad looked at the floor. Yasmin spoke for the first time. Leave kindly, she said. Don't force the police to be the ones who walk you out. For a second, all I heard was the tick of the wall clock. It sounded like a hammer. Then everyone started speaking at once, pleading, scolding, swearing, blaming. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I picked up the envelope, took the second copy from inside, and left it on the counter with the deed to the house face up, my name bold at the bottom in black ink. On the porch, the winter air caught in my lungs. Yasmin closed the door behind us. You did it, she said. No, I said. I just refused to let them do it to me anymore. The move out was a storm without rain. Mira cried, then cursed, then cried again. Saif slammed boxes and dropped them on purpose. Dad hovered, hands in his pockets, saying almost nothing. Mom wiped the counters like she wanted to clean the ugly out of the air. Neighbors watched from their windows. No one came over. The house felt heavy and full of echo. When the last box left, I walked down the hallway to the room that had been mine. The wall still held faint pencil marks from when I measured my height as a kid. The new paint couldn't hide them fully. I traced a line with my finger. Age 9, age 12, age 16, little scratches of proof. Real or not, I whispered, I lived here. Yasmin stood in the doorway. Now it's truly yours. We went to the front door with a can of paint I had brought in the trunk. Blue? She asked. Grandpa's favorite, I said. We painted together in quiet strokes. The door drank the color slowly. Each layer grew deeper, like the door was remembering itself. When we finished, the last light of evening slid across the surface and turned it into a small lake. We made tea and sat at the kitchen table with the deed between us. The house was silent, but it didn't feel empty. It felt like someone had finally opened a window and let the air in. Mom texted, "We're gone." I don't know what to say. I stared at the screen. After a minute, I typed, "When you choose truth, my door is open. Until then, keep your keys." I put the phone face down. Yasmin asked, "Do you need anything?" "I need to breathe," I said. We stepped onto the back porch. The night air was sharp and clean. The yard looked smaller than it did when I was a kid, but the sky looked bigger. I could smell snow on the wind and lemons on my skin from the soap we used to scrub the counters. Was justice cruel? I asked the dark. Or was it survival? Yasmin said, "Sometimes survival is the only kind of justice you get." I nodded. A small laugh broke out of me, tired and honest. "My grandfather would have told me to eat." "We have tea," she said. "And bread." We ate plain bread, dipped in tea like we used to when we were broke and young. It tasted simple and good. Before she left, Yasmin pressed her forehead to mine. "You did not throw them away," she said. "You drew a line and grew behind it." After she went, I walked the rooms by myself. I touched the walls. I opened and shut the cabinets. I listened to the house breathe. In the moonlight, the blue door glowed like a quiet heart. I wrote one small sentence on the inside edge where no one else would ever see. "I decide." Then I turned the lock and felt the click move through my body like a calm wave. The sound was not cruel. It was clean. I stood at the window and watched the street go quiet. Snow began to fall again, slow and soft. It landed on the steps and didn't melt. The house looked new and old at the same time. So did I. I made a bed on the floor of my room with blankets from a box. I lay down and stared at the ceiling. The crack in the paint near the light fixture was still there, just where it had always been, like a thin river drawn across a map. I smiled. "I belong," I said to the dark. Not because of blood. Because I stayed. Somewhere in the house, the heater clicked on. The vent hummed a low, steady sound. It felt like a promise. It felt like the kind of warmth you build yourself and never need to beg for again. If you were in my place, what would you have done? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more family drama stories. See you in the next video.